All right, in this video, we're going to cover some of the latest things that have been going on. Also, answer some comments and questions I've been getting on lithium orotate and some updates on the health side as well. So it's gonna be a little general purpose video, but we'll share my screen. But in a couple of weeks ago, even less than that, I did a video on the lithium orotate. It's like a health topic I wanted to bring up, and for all the young men, even senior citizens who are in any way ever feeling they're having uh, mood issues. And like as the great Zig Ziglar would say, yeah, attitude is your altitude. If your attitude is about win win win, how can I help people? How can I improve the situation? Enthusiasm, then don't worry about even considering anything about lithium orotate because you're in a good position all the time. But if in any way like there's ever a time where like, man, I should have closed that deal, or why did I eat that donut? Darn it, I ate those donuts, and you're beating yourself up about it. Well, this is like this stuff here, the lithium orotate. It's like a mood enhancer. It's some sort of a mineral apparently, or vitamin. I don't know enough about it to be honest, but it's nothing more than a vitamin at the health food store. And there's a doctor, he gave his whole entire life's work to this stuff, which I'll share in a minute, a screen of how to watch it. And you can read his book or watch his videos. But I just stumbled upon on the stuff for purposes of visceral fat. I'm like obsessed with having a low body fat. I want to look good. Yeah, I like looking good and shredded and chiseled and everything. That's one. Yeah, I am. But at the same time, having a low body fat and low visceral fat is extremely healthy. Like that's the key. When you have no visceral fat on your body, you live a long time. And that's my goal, is to live a heck of a long time, very long time, maintain the same age, and look good and have fun while doing it too. It's a lot more fun when you're, one of the things I talked about in the past, when you're like freaking lean and you're really ripped, my confidence in a way will go up another level, because I could go anywhere at any time and not be ashamed of how I look. Not, I would, okay? And I don't suggest anyone here should, but I'm saying that being able to go out anywhere with your shirt off, in public during the summertime and feel like proud of it and very, very accomplished is a great feeling. So of course that's the like benefits, but getting rid of the visceral fat is the real benefit, because by getting rid of that visceral fat, it's just incredibly healthy. You don't have fat inside your heart and your other organs that is deadly. It's hard to tell, and MRI apparently is the only way to really fine tune the way of how much visceral fat you have. But yeah, that's how I found it, the lithium orotate. Now I've got questions from even seniors about how like, oh, should they take it? Well, it will make you feel it right away. Is there a risk? No, there's no risk, dude. It's a vitamin. Do you drink a coffee? Well, it's as risky as drinking coffee. So that's the risk. Yeah, you drink a cup of coffee, you might die from a cup of coffee. It's highly unlikely, but I guess anything's possible. So no, there's no risk. It's not risky. It's just a vitamin, and it will make a difference. And it's cheap. I think it's like $10 at the health food store. I would definitely recommend anybody trying it out and just experimenting with it, like trying like the 5 milligrams, because it will. I already noticed, man, like when I didn't take it, I had no way. I didn't crave it. It wasn't that I had forgotten about it. Like, oh, but I'm just like, man, why did I eat that donut? And I was like bothered by it. I'm thinking like, where's that lithium stuff? And I tried it anyways, and that just balanced me right out, dude. It's unbelievable. So I wanted to share the video on that. Here's the screen. Let's see, one. These guys right here, a couple things, like this is one I watched, nootropics expert, lithium orotate updated. He's a doctor, talks all about it. This guy here, how nutritional lithium helps ADHD. James Greenblatt. This is the guy who wrote the book about it. lithium orotate for anxiety and depression. Even Dr. Berg talks about it for depression and bipolar disorder. So it's something I would definitely check out. These are all videos I would recommend watching. And if you want to read the book on it, it will help. Changing topics here. We got, some of the crazy things. The Ozzy Osbourne, he died today. I'm not, maybe you're a fan of Ozzy Osbourne. One of my best friends is a big Ozzy Osbourne fan. St. Michael. I got to have him on sometime. Mentor of mine. But he's like from a different era. Ozzy Osbourne was a different era. It was way, way before any of my stuff, So I think it's cool. I have a Black Sabbath shirt only because I think it's cool. It looks cool. It's a cool vibe. I don't know any of the music though. Iron Man, I think it was one. That's about, I've heard of the song, but I don't know the songs. So, but hey, man, rest in peace. Ozzy Osbourne kicked the bucket. A couple things about like Bitcoin stuff, like that I think is really interesting is, Donald Trump, he wrote that his company is buying a bunch of Bitcoin or maybe BTC. I'm not 100% sure what they're buying because I got all these different posts. Oh, we're buying BTC. Let's see if I could find the actual post from their company. Okay, here it is. Trump media announces its purchase of $2 billion Bitcoin treasury. Okay. It announced operating as a social media platform. So Truth Social, the streaming platform and fintech brand, announced that the company has accumulated approximately $2 billion in Bitcoin and Bitcoin-related securities as part of a previously announced Bitcoin treasury strategy. The holdings now comprise about 2/3 of Trump Media Company. Furthermore, $300 million in additional capital has been reallocated to purchase strategy of Bitcoin-related securities. I was thinking there was more than that, but that's all I see. So, yeah, it doesn't really tell you what they bought. Did they buy? I mean, because if you go down here, this is another post. USA has acquired 197,000 BTC. Okay, that's BTC. All right. When I saw this post here, and obviously this isn't him, this is some other guy, now this is not BTC. So that's where I got confused. That is BSV right there. So that's where I got confused. I'm like, well, wait a second. This guy's saying he bought BSV. And then he's saying he bought Bitcoin. So I mean, hold on a second. Let me just show you really quick so you don't think I'm crazy. Pause. Yeah, so check that out. I mean, a lot of people probably already know this, but when that guy posted that he bought BSV, you can see that right there is BSV. There's the coin market cap. You can see this right here with the crooked B is BTC. And I'm not sharing my views here one way or the other, but I'm just stating it as a fact as to what's what. So when the guy posts this, it just kind of confused me. I'm like, oh, wait a second. He bought BSV? The article just says he bought Bitcoin. I don't know. Now, I think it's another key point here. Now, I'm going to just share a quick little background because whoops, hold on. All right, before I get into this part here, I just want to premise that I am 100% a believer in comms. Now, basically, when I say comms, I mean that I believe, now I'm just bracing you, so, call me crazy if you want. I believe that the dash between the 47 and 45 means that we were in a continuity of government operation. Now, it's not just because, oh, dash, that's optics, but it's because of all the executive orders that were implied and created starting in 2015. All right, so in my reading of those and reading of the laws and then the actions that have taken place, I would not have said this 3 years ago. No way. Even though I read them, I just didn't see anything happening to make it believable. I saw a few things, but not enough. But now I've seen way too many. I've seen way too many optics in these comms happening Joshua Reed, Red Pill Project, Alpha Warrior. Those two guys are probably some of the best out there that have been able to identify these things the best. So that's just embrace it. So that's my disclaimer, right? So now saying that, let me share something with you. Recording in progress. Okay, so this is from his Truth Social post, and he says, greatest Bitcoin explanation of all time. Thought it was longer than this, but let me just share this, and then I'll go back into the comms, okay? So
what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the world's first cryptocurrency, and it works because of the world's first public blockchain network. What does Bitcoin do? It's simple. It lets you send and receive value to and from anyone in the world using nothing more than a computer and an internet connection. Now, why is it revolutionary? Because unlike every other tool for sending money over the internet, it works without the need to trust a middleman. The lack of any corporation in between means that Bitcoin is the world's first public digital payments infrastructure. And by public, I simply mean available to all and not owned by any single entity.
Okay, so right there. Now he's talking about the Bitcoin protocol. That's just a matter of fact. He's talking about the Bitcoin protocol. He's not talking about BTC. I think we all can agree there, right? That guy is not talking about BTC. I mean, let me know. Leave a comment. I mean, I don't think there's any dispute about that. That is definitely not referring to BTC, because we know that BTC uses third parties. BTC is not a cash system, right? So he's talking about the Bitcoin protocol there, and how it's this revolutionary protocol that is world changing, and it's the original ledger. So why would he post that? Do you think that was a mistake? It was just a oops. I didn't mean to do that. I meant BTC, slow, archaic. This system that just it's like a handicap. It's like a broken down car with no gas and no wheels and a hubcap, so it just barely moves. It's just this. Is that what he was talking about? That's BTC. No, dude, he's talking about the freaking giant, massive Lear 747, brand new arcade with a freaking 1 million to 1 billion transactions a second. This thing that's just piped and ready for launch. That's what he's talking about. But he definitely can't talk about it publicly because it would completely set things, completely send things into a chaos. Now, this guy doesn't need money. So yeah, he wants to make money, but he doesn't need the money. So, and also when he's doing these comms, it's not Donald Trump himself. He is definitely a part of it, but you got to think that there's an entire military operation behind all that. Now, Scavino is for sure a part of it. Cash, is probably a part of it. Dan Raisin Kane, General Kane is definitely another part of it. And whoever else, even the head of the secretary right now, Secretary of Defense, these guys are all a part of it, and these things are planned out in advance through high-level AI, artificial intelligence planning, and with those posts. Those posts are done at specific times and specific ways, and they mean a certain thing. And it's not just Donald Trump sitting on his phone, writing it out. Oh, I want to post this. I feel like this today. How am I doing? Like all of us do. It's not that. But I got to give the respect to the guy because he knows all these things. It's not just some auto post that he doesn't read. He's up to speed on everything, because you could watch him in the president's briefing today in the White House with the president of the Philippines, and he knows what's going on, what he's writing on the posts. He seems to be up to speed with it all. So my point is that when he's talking about Bitcoin there and how it's this revolutionary payments infrastructure and this revolutionary protocol, he's talking about the Bitcoin protocol, so he just is. I mean, I don't think that's arguable. I do not believe that was by mistake. And for people to think, even like Josh Reed, my buddy, I got to have him back on, for him to disagree with me on that. And I think he would disagree with me on that. He would probably say that, no, he's talking about BTC. Then I say, well, let's get into a let's just go ahead and use this. Let's go ahead and start like working together and working and building stuff and using it. And then you tell me that that video he's talking about BTC. I I mean, anyone who disagrees just doesn't have enough experience. That's my opinion. Friday, I moved my show with Kurt to Friday. He had his little thing on CoinGeek today. I watched that and threw some comments in there. I'm going to move it show to Friday. A couple of other things I want to talk about, and that's the bills. How long have I been going? These bills are super important. All right. Now, I've got probably seems like maybe I don't know. Maybe I have this unique knowledge and ability right now to be able to read the bills, understand the bills, and then also have an understanding of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin protocol, and then all this crypto market with how it's playing, with how it's going. So the last couple of videos I talked about the bills, I'm trying to share my insight on it. Now, I really, unlike all these other people that probably are on YouTube or X, where they interject massive opinion and mass bias on things. Now, if I'm going to do that, I at least try to kind of give you a little disclaimer, like I did with those comms. Like I already shared you, that's my bias. That's kind of my opinion, that I believe in the comms. So take it with a grain of salt. If you don't follow that stuff, that's okay. I'm just giving, that's my disclaimer on that. But when it comes to the bills, the bills, they say what they say, and they're without an understanding of all the operation, the entire big picture of the operation that we're in. Those bills, they look like it's another banker's takeover potentially, and we're all screwed, and we're all going to go, down the drain potentially. I mean, I just don't see it that way at all. I'm not biased towards the Republican Party or the Democrat Party. Okay, they've both completely failed us. All right, so I'm not biased on that in any way. But what I am biased towards is America. All right, America is my heart. I'm a trustworthy custodian of its good name. So America is going to come first for me. That is where I am biased. And if it's in the interest of improving America, then I'll support it. These bills definitely improve the interest of America. Now, the one that is very, very interesting to me is going to be the Clarity Act. That one's not passed yet. They're arguing it back and forth in the Senate, apparently. But if it passes, that Clarity Act is going to really define what it means to be a mature blockchain. And that is a big freaking deal, because my last video I'll post it at the end. I'm just not seeing how ETH or BTC will qualify. No matter how much they lie, it doesn't matter. They could lie and get away with it for a while, but eventually somebody's going to find out and be like, no, you're not a mature blockchain. You're centrally controlled. I don't care what they say. I asked Grok this. Grok lies its ass off. Grok doesn't know. Grok doesn't think Bitcoin Core controls BTC. Grok doesn't believe that Blockstream had anything to do with BTC. So, but I'm sorry, whoever's feeding Grok in that information just doesn't know the history about what's been going on. They haven't been in the space long enough, because the information is there. And we know that BTC was hijacked by Bitcoin Core and by the Bilderberg Group, who funded the entire operation. And so conveniently, MasterCard's now coming out in support of some of these things. So that is suspect to me about how all of a sudden MasterCard, the evil empire, MasterCard supporting certain things. That is suspect. But I don't think MasterCard, see what they don't see the whole picture. And they're not watching my videos, so I don't mind sharing this. And that is that they think that the Bitcoin protocol is dead. That's their goal. They had to kill the Bitcoin protocol. Their goal from the outset was kill the Bitcoin protocol, so make sure that it never survives. Because if the Bitcoin protocol survives, then, their whole plan, they're all dead. They're all screwed. They're out of business, basically. If that video from that guy that Trump just had on and that posted, if that survives, They're no longer relevant. So, but I want to tell you something right now. Bitcoin protocol is alive and well, and it's going to make it, and it's going to be huge. So tomorrow I'm in Sacramento. I'm going to see Death Cab for Cutie. You guys, anybody's out there, look for me there. It's going to be a blast. These guys are freaking like anyways, they're like a band from the mid 2000 area when I was graduating college, and they were, anyways, they're really, really a badass band from up in Seattle. So I'm going to go to see that. Got a bunch of other things I'm working on. Show on Friday with Kurt for sure. We're definitely going to look and talk a little bit about the Bitcoin history side of things as well. And I'll ask him about his thoughts on these bills. So look for that. Hit the ones. My name's Gavin. I'll see you at the top later.